Happy Hump Day, Colts Nation. Welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be talking about the injury reports for both of these teams. Now, the Raiders, because they're out west, they move on different times, right? So the actual report for this, might have to wait a little while for the Raiders, but there are a couple of things on ESPN.com about some guys that could be questionable for the Raiders. So we're going to go off that for now instead of the Raiders website. But for the Colts and what they have going on today, starting at the top with the did not practice guys is Cameron McGirr, who missed practice due to an illness. A lot of that going around, a lot of people sick, whether it's in the NFL or I'm sure a lot of people you guys know are sick right now. I'm sick. I don't know if you can tell by my face. I'm a little puffed up right now. A lot of people I know are sick. So we'll see what happens. Jack Anderson last week missed the game because he was sick. Right now it's Cameron McGirr that's sick, and he's a special teams guy. We were already down some special teams guys, so hopefully he's able to come back because he plays an important role in the special teams. Then next up is going to be DJ Montgomery, who missed practice due to a groin injury. And just a reminder, these Wednesday practice reports for the Colts are just estimations as to what their participation would be because they're doing walkthroughs every single Wednesday. So whatever DJ Montgomery has going on, they're just letting him rest. Don't even worry about coming and doing the walkthrough. He did not practice. Okay, but then we get into the limited participants. Zach Moss is at the top of this list. The forearm injury, he was a limited participant or would have been slated to be a limited participant. So the fact that he's getting back on the field is great news. Okay, we haven't really heard anything about how serious it could have been, right? He broke his arm in the preseason. So I was kind of wondering, is it the same injury, right? Did he re-break his arm? It appears that that's not the case. He's a limited participant in practice. So hopefully he's able to come back this week. It seems like the combination of Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss just works better for us than having one or the other. Okay, and the next limited participant here is going to be Segan Alubi, who had to miss the game against the Falcons. And again, he plays an important part in the special team, so having him back on the field is great. Looks like he's probably going to be able to go this week. And with the situation that we're in right now, we're going to need all hands on deck. So having Segan Alubi back is going to be great. And the last limited participant here is Michael Pittman Jr. with the concussion/shoulder. Obviously, came out of concussion protocol on Friday, got put back in concussion protocol on Saturday, and didn't play in the game on Sunday. So it appears we're probably going to be able to get him back this week, but we're going to continue to monitor. Nothing's a sure thing, right? I've never seen anybody come out of the concussion protocol and then get put back in the concussion protocol before they played a game. So, anything can happen. It feels like for whatever reason, the football gods are still against us. So we'll see what happens, but I really hope Michael Pittman Jr. is able to play. The offense clearly is not the same and does not work the same without Michael Pittman Jr. there. Okay, but now we get into the full participants in practice. This is where we have Jack Anderson, backup center. He was sick last week. He's coming back this week. That one, for all intents and purposes, doesn't really matter. Amir Speed, also a full participant in practice. That's a depth piece. Again, for all intents and purposes, doesn't matter a whole lot. He plays on special teams. So we're definitely going to need him, and it looks like we're going to be able to have him this upcoming Sunday. And then last name here, the one that you've probably been waiting for. We have Braden Smith as a full participant in practice, finally coming back, which is great because Blake Freeland just had probably his worst game as a pro so far. I think his pass blocking grade was like 37, according to PFF. So not a great day for the backup, especially being a rookie. He's had some tough days, gone up against some tough matchups. And with Mac Crosby coming in on that side this week, having Braden Smith back instead of Blake Freeland is going to be huge. So I assume as the week goes on, Braden Smith will continue to be a full participant in practice. If he tweaks anything, of course, we'll let you guys know as soon as possible, and we'll be updating that throughout the week. But right now, things are looking good for us to have pretty much the full complementary of guys that we're going to need going into this Sunday against the Raiders, right? And that's great because the Raiders, for the most part, at least from what I'm seeing so far, are the same, where they have Jesper Horsted, backup tight end, questionable. They also have Michael Mayer, questionable. And Michael Mayer had to miss this last game. I would assume he's probably going to play this next game if he's already listed as questionable. Going forward, probably going to be good. But of course, we'll continue to update this throughout the week. And then another piece of that offense that's questionable right now is guard Jermaine Illuminor. And then, of course, Josh Jacobs, the Raiders running back. Now, against the Chiefs, having Josh Jacobs out didn't matter. They were still able to run. I think Zamir White ran for 145 yards against the Chiefs. So they were still able to get the run game going, which was important because they didn't complete a pass after the first quarter. And this time, okay, what people really weren't talking about is the fact that it was so windy there in Kansas City on Christmas Day. But this upcoming game is playing indoors in Indy. So they're going to be able to complete some passes. We're going to need to be able to stop that. And they could have Josh Jacobs coming back. He could be out. Either way, the run game was able to work. This team is playing much different ever since Josh McDaniels got fired. Now, of course, there was a 3-0 game against the Vikings for the Raiders just a few weeks ago, and then they went and played the Chargers a few days later, put up 63 points. So it'll be interesting to see which Raiders team we get. Again, I mentioned football gods being against us earlier. I just assume the Raiders are going to come out on offense and defense and end up looking like every single guy on their team is an all-pro, right? It's a game that we have to win. Why wouldn't that happen? But we'll see what happens, man. Right now, I'm a little scarred from that Falcons game. Dropped one against a team that we should have beat for sure. So not feeling great right now going into this one. But again, looks like we're going to be getting a lot of guys back this week, which is great news. You let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you have notifications on because we have daily content on this channel. And of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. With that said, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.